Yeah, yeah, ITCS classmate. Yes, very good. So let's start with the second chapter. So I hope it's comfortable, Harsh. So when you have it, it's easy. Don't worry. That's fine. Second chapter, my dear students, please listen. This is the MCQ. Beta, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. If I start explaining MCQs also, then I may not be able to complete the portion on time. If any doubts are there, you can ask me as such. That will be easy. If you have understood the chapter today, read that properly. Tomorrow start solving MCQ. Everything will be comforting. Only listen the understand the lecture properly. Chapter number 2. This chapter is the biggest chapter, student, in the lot. 8 chapters you have, biggest is second. Dynamics of computer strategy. Many concepts are there in this. Many, I would say. And the best part is what? Very interesting concepts. Second, this particular chapter, beta, everything is linked with each other. So please don't miss any lectures. Your some face-to-face lectures are going to start what? No? Anyway, so what we'll do, we'll start with the dynamics of competitive strategy. I'll explain 2-3 things today. Kindly understand. They got cancelled. Okay, anyway, Corona is becoming very dangerous now. So we'll take this kind of lectures only. I'll start with competitive strategy. Here, the first thing we need to know is, what do you mean by competitive strategy? First, we'll study that. Then, beta, what is competitive landscape? Only 2 things we'll study. Okay? See, it goes something like this. Competitive strategy. Understand? Please listen. See, first thing in this chapter, what we are going to study is this. A person, a businessman in my country used to first have monopoly. Right? He had monopoly, Bajaj scooter, Godrej refrigerators. They were doing excellent business. Some businessmen were there, they were facing competition from the local market. Then they started facing competition from the regional market, national market, and courtesy Manmohan Singh, now they are facing competition from the international players also. Agreed? So business has become difficult, and for businessmen, students, conducting business, surviving in the business, growing the business has become very difficult. But beta, it is said now, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It's important. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And for the tough to get going, you're supposed to have competitive strategy. So please, world is becoming smaller. International players are entering in our market and selling the goods. Where I used to have monopoly, now I have to face competition. So if I have to face competition from them, what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to have competitive strategies. Now, beta, how do I explain competitive strategy? Very easy. Listen. It is said a business, you have 3 levels of management: the corporate level, the business level, come on, the functional. So 3 levels of management: corporate, business, and functional. Now, beta, corporate level would make strategies, mind you, to sustain, survive, grow, earn profit. Business level will make strategies to develop his business, to define his business properly, to work on the business model. Functional level will execute the strategies, come on, made by the business and corporate. Till today, we would have strategies like this. But now, time has changed. Now what? Very easy. Now the change is that students, we as businessmen make strategies along with these strategies to face, come on, competition. Strategies to kill competition. Strategies to prevail over the competition. And that strategy, which is to face competition, will be called as what? Come on, competitive strategy. So, beta, what did I said? Every level of management has strategy. But those strategies were for sustenance, survival, growth, profit, performing the business properly, defining the business properly, having the proper model as such. Nowadays, students, businessmen make strategy for facing competition. That strategy for facing competition is called as what? Competitive strategy. To be very precise, which a competitive strategy aims at one thing: to make the customer aware that I am better than my competitor. How can I show I'm better than the competitor? Take an example, Bacha. Take a small example, so you can understand this. Let us say there's a restaurant A. Many people come over here to have their lunch, and it gives a thali for 100 rupees. And you start a restaurant next to that, B. You give that same thali for 90 rupees. Katak. Where will most of the people go? Come on, tell me, to the B restaurant. Arshita, right or no? Come on, right, beta. One is charging 100, you start giving 90. Other option can be one is charging 100, you also charge 100. But the quantity of food that you're giving, you give more. The quality of food that you're giving, you give it better. So that is something that shows you are better than the competitor. You are better than what your competitor is giving. Either the same quantity you give at a lesser price, or at the same price you give more quantity, better quality. You're showing, I'm better than the best. I'm having some kind of competitive strategy. Better be very clear, today's time, there is intense competition and you cannot survive without competitive strategy. Let's see this part. Pay attention. Say, the introduction part says, business environmental changes are continuous and unavoidable. I hope you agree with that, beta. One day Modi comes and says, Mitro, and he does the demonetization of 500 and 1,000 rupees notes. So Harsh says, nahi, I will not listen to you. Can you say like that, Harsh? Come on, beta, no one can say, na? These are unavoidable. Acha, pandemic, corona will affect who? Anyone and everyone. Can you say, mujhe kuch nahi hoga, main Mamata Banerjee? So this is something which is continuous, unavoidable. And therefore, every organization must develop strategies, should be proactive and reactive both. But you are supposed to prepare strategies before the actual problem happens. And many times, if you are unaware, then you should be ready with reactive strategies. World is getting smaller and competition is increasing. Organizations have increasing pressure to develop the business and strengthen its competitiveness. I said local, regional, so they have to develop the business and strengthen its competitiveness. The changes happening in the external environment challenge organizations to find original, unique strategies to which must be suitable to the business organization to remain in business and succeed. Strategic thinking and management, that is formulation and management, are highly relevant for the organizations to enjoy what? Achieve core competencies, competitive advantage, high performance for success, and to ensure company survival and growth. These all terms what I have marked, we have separate topics, we will study that in detail. Your chapter actually starts here, competitive strategy. Strategies formed and developed by organizational managers for achieving objective of survival, stability, efficiency, growth, profitability, and prosperity. But along with the above mentioned business objectives, one of the most important objectives of framing strategy is to fight competition, right? New thing. In simple words, strategies formed for fighting and sustaining external competition is known as competitive strategy. Formulation of competitive strategy depends on internal and external business. Now, another point that you need to know is this part. See, pay attention, madam. You know, when I say competitive strategy, you should be very clear. Okay, in the business that you are entering, whether you'll be having the position of a leader, whether you'll be having a position of a challenger, or whether you will be a follower. Meaning what? Please listen. I'll put it in this, in such words, Surin, listen. Imagine a company, Mercedes is coming out with a car. Now, Mercedes is coming out with a car which is worth 75 lakh of rupees. So, Mercedes should know of the people who are going to purchase Maruti cars. समझ में आ रहा है? बेटा Maruti car is 10 lakh of rupees. Who will buy? The middle class, the lower middle class. Mercedes will buy the politicians, the corrupted people, or the very rich industrialists as such. Am I right? If I'm wrong, tell me. Now, if you are introducing a car of 75 lakh, 80 lakh rupees, you should not be bothered about what's happening in the 10 lakh rupees car segment. First thing should be clear. Am I right? I'm introducing a car Citroen. It's a SUV costing 30 lakh rupees. Then, bacha, I should be concerned. Which is the other car for around 30 lakh of rupees? Fortuner is there. Altura is there. They are marketing. Hey, please understand, madam. So here, I am supposed to be clear whether I'm a leader, I'm a challenger, or a follower. And then accordingly, I should plan my strategies. I'll give you an example. So today in the mobile phone industry, this company Apple and their phone iPhone occupies the position of a leader. Kiran, right? Leader, how come leader? Bacha, the product that they introduce, the features that it gives, come on, are the ones which for the first time are given by that. And then what happens? Samsung copies that. Am I right? And if Apple charges 1,25,000 for the phone, because they spend so much money on research and development, they want the first mover advantage. They sell that phone for 1,25,000, 1,30,000 rupees. People buy. Then Samsung learns the tricks of the trade and develops a cheaper version of that. Maybe at times they make a better version of it as such. At the same time, they give it cheaper. That is challenge. And after some time, students, when Apple is not interested in that, Samsung is also not much interested, then MI comes. Imagine this phone, Apple was 1,25,000, Samsung was 80,000. MI will give it for 20,000. You follow? So, first of all, you're supposed to know what you are in a position, leader, challenger, because you should have your competitive strategy depending upon who are in this position, who are in this position. Listen, a firm must identify its position relative to the competitors in the market by knowing if it's a leader, challenger, or follower. It can adopt appropriate competitive strategy. The objective of a competitive strategy is to generate competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means what? I am better than the other competitors. Simple. Increase its market share and beat competition. Why? Moves for what? Attract customer and deliver value. I'll give you an example, bacha. In the morning, now the bacha, they have closed the gardens as such. But in the morning when we go for a walk, I said there are so many uncles and aunties. Most of them students are very misers, but I saw them wearing Skechers shoes. And auntie was so happy. Amma, Skechers. Anna, why Skechers? Then auntie, the Nair auntie was saying, it makes me so comfortable. So Skechers, while giving the shoes to you, knows what you want comfort. It delivers value. So the uncle doesn't mind spending for a 3,000 rupees. Auntie wouldn't want to buy a Nike shoes. Her daughter will buy a Nike. A granddaughter would buy a Nike. And when the Skechers shoes are so comfortable, bacha, what happens? It delivers value. They're able to attract customers, withstand competitive pressure. Given a choice, students, she would next time also buy something. And it strengthens the market position. Short note, if you get corporate strategy, this is what you should find. I hope it's clear. Kiran, understood? Sure. Now, pay attention. Prakruti, understanding, beta? Sure, all of you? Good. Now comes the most important topic for the day, competitive landscape. And mark my words, at least I was solving some particular case studies. Many questions are on this topic, competitive landscape. Many. In fact, every year there is a question on competitive landscape. And it's very easy. I know this very well. Kindly understand. What is competitive landscape? See, competitive landscape, students, is, they say, understanding of competitive landscape requires an application of competitive intelligence. I'll explain this. I know this very well. Kindly pay attention. See, it is said, beta, please understand. Whenever a person wants to start a business, expand a business, or start a business, he has to first know who are his competitors, direct competitor, and who are the indirect competitor. Now, which a question comes, sir, what do you mean by direct and what do you mean by indirect competitor? Take a simple example and it's very easy. Please understand. When I say direct competitor, I mean something like this. Imagine one boy, Harsh, says, sir, I have 1,50,000 rupees with me and I want to spend that money. And all his friends are having an iPhone. So we Indians are students such that now we also want to buy those things. So Harsh says, sir, I'll buy an iPhone. Fine. Then someone tells him, they kya pagal to be iPhone lega. Now then, all the features of iPhone which are there now, are there in Samsung also. And Samsung cost only 80,000 rupees. In fact, Samsung is not only cheaper, but the phone is as good as iPhone. So why should you pay 150? So obviously one would start thinking, yes, man, I should buy Samsung. His other friend says, yeah, buy a OnePlus 8 phone. That is better. So much as Samsung, OnePlus 8 are direct competition. See, the target is what? 1,50,000 rupees that Harsh is having. Target is 1,50,000 will go where? Either in iPhone, either in Samsung, either in OnePlus. They are direct competition. Again, Harsh says, I already have OnePlus 2. Just an example. Huh? I already have a OnePlus 2 and that phone is actually working very well. My other friends are also having a motorcycle, man, and I don't have a motorcycle. So one of his friends says, Ray, pagal, kab tak auto mein jayega? 1,50,000 mein you can buy a motorcycle also. Tan-tan. So that 1,50,000 is good enough to buy a motorcycle. That means motorcycle becomes a case of what? Indirect competition. Again here, what is the target? Target is your 1,50,000. Beta, these businessmen, it's not that they love you. Maharsh, take this. No. They love that 1,50,000. They want to take that from. So, when you are entering in the business, first find out who's your direct, who's your indirect competition. Then, landscape. Competitive landscape has 5 steps. I'll explain those 5 steps. Kindly pay attention. Whenever it is said you are entering in a business, Aditya says, sir, I'm entering in a particular business. So I would tell Beta, whenever you're entering in a business, do proper competitive landscape. Bola matlab kya, sir? What it means? I said, first in that business, find out who are your, find out your, what is this? Competitors. Find out your competitors. How many number of competitors are there? Second, these competitors who are there, what is their market share? Market share means what, Prakriti Vida? How much quantity of goods they sell in the market. Then identify amongst these number of competitors, how many are leaders, how many are challengers, and how many are followers. So first you should know your competitors. After knowing your competitors, Aditya, you should understand your competitor. Understanding your competitor, it is said, when you do a business, how much you know about yourself, you're supposed to know that much about your competitors also. What is their vision, the competitor's vision? What is their mission? What is their financial position? All these things you're supposed to know. And very important is, what are the products they sell? What are the services they give? Please first identify the competitors. Second, understand the competitor. After you've understood the competitor, then bacha, your competitor is doing business because he has some strength. So find out what is the strength of the competitor. And let's be very clear with it. If he's doing business, he has some strength. What strength he has? If you talk, your competitor is Tata, so they are financially very sound. If you talk about Tatas, they have the best human resources. I was just going through the newspapers today morning. There is a company by the name Bombay Dyeing. You heard of this company? Bombay Dyeing Company, bacha, is today looked after by J. Wadia. Nasli Wadia was the owner, his son J. Wadia. He said, I want to now move away from the company and I want my company should now be looked after by competent people. Why competent people? Reason is very simple. He said, now the company is becoming very big. My knowledge is not that good enough. So better competent people look after the company. Imagine if it's a Marwadi company now, then what will happen? This boy is my wife's brother, so he'll manage the show. क्या दाल बाटी चूरमा बनाने का क्या नहीं ना but बच्चा that kind of family business it becomes. Here Tata's, Bombay Dyeing, people. So they are financially sound, they have the best people. If it's a company like Hindustan Unilever, they have student the best marketing capabilities. So when a particular company is doing business, it has some strength. There must be something that it does better. So what is that thing it does better? Is its strength. If you want to do business, if Aditya wants to enter in the business, he has to ensure that the competitor's financial position, the competitor's strength, should also be the strength of Aditya. But whatever strength he has, I should enter the business with that strength. Otherwise, I will not succeed. Fourth point. Find out what are the, weaknesses. Arshida, weaknesses means what are those things which they don't do properly. And in India, if you ask some limitations of businessmen, you ask limitations of your brothers and sisters, oh my God. You write a... Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, huh? Now, you write a thesis on that. So weaknesses, if you ask them, whom to ask? Ask the customers. And these customers will tell you the weaknesses of the company. Like what weaknesses? Quality. What weakness? After sales service. What weakness? Product life is not that good. Once you know their weaknesses, you should see to it that the weakness of the competitor should become your strength. Tan-tan-tan. And if his weakness becomes your strength, then bacha kood pado. Matlab kya? Then you put all this information together and then students, what is your job? Your job is to fill in the gaps. What do you mean by fill in the gaps? When you realize that the competitor has that weaknesses and that weakness is my strength, I enter in the picture. And once I enter in the picture, students, I fill in the gap. I cement my position, and then what I will do, you ask any business, I'll throw that competitor out of the business. Why? Rule will become survival of the fittest. Am I right? Bolo bachcho, rule will become survival of the fittest. Don't tell me, businessmen, students, when they meet each other, competitor, they say, Kemcho, Majama, and they will talk big, big things. It is an ocean. You also do business. I will also do business. They behave as if they are the best of the friends. Nonsense. They behave like what? They are good pals of each other. But once they depart, they will find out ways and means to what? Kill that competition. So if you have to do that, do this strategy, competitive landscape, fill in the gaps. And once you've filled in the gaps, then bacha, business is yours. You've thrown away the other. One case study, pay attention. All of you, Evida, understanding this point? Yes or no? So first we'll read this and explain case study. Competitive landscape. So let's start reading, students. First, just go through it. What it says. Competitive landscape is a business analysis which identifies competitor direct and indirect. I told you ना. हर्ष का example दिया था बेटा, याद है ना? हर्ष what? Motorcycle, mobile phone. Okay, हर्ष बराबर है? क्या लेगा? चलो जो भी लेगा बेटा, ठीक है. An in-depth investigation and analysis of firm's competition allows it to assess competitor strength and weakness in the marketplace. That is what we studied. And help it to choose and implement effective strategy that improves its competitive advantage. Comes from a firm's all the students given in these points. Let's see. See, first point is what? Identify competition, understand competition, ascertaining rival strength and weaknesses, compilation of information gathered. Let's start. Identify the competitor. See, organization competes with the same range of competitors for the category, which is leader, challenger, follower, and misleaders. The first step to understand the competitive landscape is to identify the competitor in the firm's industry and have actual data for the respective market share. This answers the question, who are the competitors? Then understand the competitor. I said, no, it has been said that how much you know about your organization, you should know the same about competitors' organization for competing against them. Understanding of the competitors can be improved by gaining information from market research, report, internet. So what is it, students? We are supposed to know what are the products and services. Come on, determine the strength of the competitor. That's very important. Anyone who's doing business, he sells goods. What makes it that the customer likes his product? I said his strength should be your strength also. See, what can be his strength? What is the strength? What do they do well? Do they offer great products? Do they utilize marketing? Why do customers give them the business? It can be their financial position. I said Tata's, distribution network, Hindustan Unilever, what they are likely to do next. I'll give you an example, which are what they're likely to do next. One day it was said, students, what is this person named Mr. Ratan Tata? They said is going to meet the owner of that company, Tesla. Kya naam hai uska? What's his name? Tesla. Chalo, Tesla owner. Tesla, you know, bacha, is the world's largest electric car maker. Someone has written the name. Elon Musk, yes. So Elon Musk, students, Ratan Tata had a meeting. The moment he had a meeting, students, in the automobile industry, there was a big hue and cry. What is Ratan Tata going to buy Tesla also? So what they are going to do next? What gives them cost and price advantage? Bulk manufacturing by Hindustan Unilever prices less. Same Patanjali. What are the human resources strength? After knowing the strength, you're supposed to know the weakness of the competitor. Strength of our competitors should be strength of our organization. And at the same time, weakness of our competitors should be strength of our organization. It's very important, Bacha. I said strength of the competitor should be our strength. And weakness of our should be strength of our. So it will be considered as a threat for them. Okay? So beta, his weakness should become a threat so that I will prevail. Understanding weakness and strength of the competitor can be a great providing strength. Very simple. So it answers the question, where are they lacking? Put all the information together. At this stage, the strategist should perform analysis of all information about the competitor and draw inferences about what they are not offering. and what the firm can do to fill in the gaps. Very important to fill in the gaps. So what will the business do with this information? What improvements does the firm need to do, and how can the firm exploit the weakness of the company? Landscape. This is clear? बोलो बच्चे लोग हाँ. मैं तुमको एक case study पढ़ाता हूँ उसका. सुनो. The case study goes something like this. Listen. In India, what was the case? There's a company started by a gentleman by the name Rahul, not Rahul Gandhi. Please, what company he will start? I'm talking of a person by the name Mr. Rahul Bajaj. Bajaj Marwadi, right? Now, Rahul Bajaj had started a company, Bajaj Scooter. And Bajaj Scooter used to do excellent business in my country. There was a time, student, that people, if they wanted to have a scooter, they would not call it scooter, they will call it Bajaj. So implied, it's Bajaj Scooter. Bajaj and scooter name became synonymous. And Rahul Bajaj Marwadi, he made an advertisement saying, Buland Bharat ki Buland Tasveer, Hamara Bajaj. So people used to wonder that Bajaj is Bharat and Bharat is Bajaj. So that kind of national spirit also it awakens. Bajaj doing roaring business. People used to book a Bajaj scooter 10 years in advance. Then they would get the delivery of scooter. That means whatever was produced was sold immediately. And 10 years in advance, people used to. But in Delhi, in Punjab side now, you don't have good public transport system. Bombay, you have very good public transport system. There you don't have good public transport system. So if there are 4 people in the family, they would have 4 Bajaj scooters. Demand was also high. And Bajaj was making hay while the sun shines. Why? Demand is there. They're selling. They're making good profit. Good amount of money. Now, in 50 years that Bajaj did business, they made a scooter Bajaj Super, Bajaj Priya, and Bajaj Chetak. Please listen. Chetak Bajaj scooter was, all the Marwadis who used to ride this scooter would get a feeling that they are like Maharana Pratap sitting on a Chetak. Right now, you remember that horse, Chetak, and all the Marwadis used to get a feeling, Are Chetak ke upar aaya. Theek, abhi ja. Come to the point. 50 years, student Bajaj ruled the roost. Anyone wanting a scooter Bajaj, there was Lambretta, no one would buy. And the scooter used to do excellent. Good profit to the company, good sales, everything was fine. And they said, Bajaj, excellent business proposition by Rahul. Rahul Bajaj students did everything right. But the problem is when he was doing good, he became very, very comfortable. And then he said, now I'm the boss. Now, any point of time I want, I can increase the sale, I can decrease the sale, the market is in my hand. Beta, in life, when you get comfortable and you feel there is no need to improve, your downfall starts. And see what happened. 1991, our silent Prime Minister actually talked and introduced what? LPG. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Rahul Bajaj got very upset. सरदार को अक्कल नहीं है, बोला चुप रहे मारवाड़ी, तेरे को हमने प्रोटेक्ट करके रखा. Manmohan Singh said, "No, now let foreign companies come. Why my people should wait for 10 years to get your scooter? Let foreign companies come. Let the Hondas, the Suzuki, the Kawasaki's come to my country and let them sell motorcycles, scooters, whatever they want. And bacha, when this Honda came to my country, so Harshita, what they did, Honda was invited, they came, they saw, and they captured. Honda did a competitive landscape. What was that? They say we are in the two-wheeler industry, so first we want to know find out how many number of competitors are there. So there was one competitor, Bajaj, one Yezdi motorcycle was there, one Rajdoot was there, and the other was Surin Bullet. Well, they are not motorcycles, scooters. Then understand Bajaj. So Bajaj has monopoly. Everyone wants to buy Bajaj. The products Super, Priya, Chetan. Then what are the strength of Bajaj? Strength of Bajaj is what? Good scooter, long life, fuel efficiency. Best part is what? Long life of that particular scooter. Service is very easily available. All those things. Well, why? That's great. And then the fourth question, come find out the weaknesses. So Harshita was asked, what's the problem with Bajaj scooter? Beta, we are Indians. किसी का problem पूछो तो we are ready ना? Harshita wrote a big essay on that. All the Marwadis were asked first, what problem? People in Punjab were asked. And all the people in Punjab, the girls over there, the boys over there, many elderly people said, Sir, बहुत अच्छा स्कूटर है तो बूढ़े मुंह क्यों ऐसे बना रहे हैं बोला नहीं थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है क्या प्रॉब्लम है सर स्कूटर को चालू करने के लिए ना किक मारना पड़ता है okay so it's kick start so young small boys and girls find it difficult for a kick start बूढ़े लोगों को तकलीफ होता है बोला okay that's the problem now what else Kiran says sir there is that gears in this. In the handle, there is a gear system. We have to change that gear again and again. Many a times, we don't change the gear. So we don't get the speed problem. Okay. Now, Honda company came to know what the problem, weakness. And what it did, after this, it put all four things together and introduced the scooter with two features only additional to what Bajaj would give. They started a particular scooter which is button start. And they made a scooter which was what common gearless. Gearless, without any gears. And what people did in my country, they all said, Arey, Buland Bharat ki Buland Tasveer, Tumhara Bajaj, Maro Hondo. So that particular scooter, which ruled our country for years, believe me, in the year 2009, what happened, you know? In one day, they used to sell more than 5,000 to 10,000 scooters. In the year 2009, Bajaj could sell only 626 scooter. So in 1 year, only 626 scooter was sold. So I said, fill in the gaps, cement your place, and throw them out. Cut that. Competitive landscape important. Hai, Aditya, barabar beta. Now, Marwadi, lot of guts, lots of money. Rahul Bajaj, his sons are there. What they are doing? They are doing competitive landscape. They did now what? You'll be shocked. Attack. They know first. Now see what Bajaj is doing. Huh? First, they find out how many number of competitors. So Kinetic Honda, Hero scooters, right? Mahindra scooter is a duo. Then understand हो गया strength पता चला weakness. Weakness में पता चला what Aditya is saying, sir. I have to park the scooter again and again. That's a big problem. Then Kiran says, sir, when I'm riding the scooter, I have to balance the scooter properly. So Bajaj is now coming with the electric scooter and self-balancing one. Tan, tan. So now Harshita will buy which one? Tell me, Harshita. Now, beta, kya legi rahe? Self-balancing scooter na. So now imagine Kiran will ride that particular scooter and he'll keep both the legs on the handle. Still the scooter will not fall. अपना हिरन भी बस एक बराबर है. तो बच्चा, this is the way we make use of competitive landscape to enter, to remain, and to capture the market. Cut that. Let's have a look at the notes. So this part I've explained to you. Huh? Any doubts over here? Sure, understood. कोई डाउट है? हर्ष जोशी, समझ में आया बेटा पक्का? All of you is clear ना? So listen. Next topic we have is strategic analysis. And strategic analysis, students, in that we have to study these issues to consider for strategic analysis. So kindly pay attention. See, what is strategic analysis? Listen, the explanation goes something like this. Kindly pay attention, students. See, it is said, listen, whenever a person wants to start a business, he's supposed to do a proper analysis. Soch vichar. Why? Because you are putting in so much of financial consideration. So much money is involved in starting a business. You are investing not only money, you're investing your time. You're investing your energy. Please think about it better. You're starting a business, you're putting your money, time, your energy, your aspirations. And you want your business to succeed. You want to write a success story. Am I right? And what happens to this? If you don't do an analysis properly, if you don't do that soch vichar properly, then what happens? Maybe you become like the king of good times. Called king of good times? Kingfisher owner, Vijay Mallya. You know what's the problem? In India, beta, people with some income, some money, have a lot of ego. Kiran, right? Lot of ego, lot of attitude. One student asked me, so how to deal with people with lot of ego? How to deal with people with lot of ego? Very difficult, beta. How to deal with them? I had really one answer. Remove the E, kick his ass and tell him to go. That's it. You can't live with people with lot of ego, bacha. Yeah, we are simple human beings. One day we'll die. Everything will remain here. So what attitude for? The king of good times was having such a good time. And then one fine day, just to show off, his son, Siddharth Mallya's birthday, he started Kingfisher Airlines. And he gifted him 21 planes. My son used to tell me, what, Papa, I wish I had a father like him. He will gift me 21 planes. My God. I too can't give him 21 cars also. But why you need 21 cars? It's that simple. We don't want to start a transport company. Vijay Mallya started Kingfisher Airlines saying what, I have a gut feeling. Keep your guts to yourself. You can't start a business on the basis of a gut feeling. I will succeed. Nonsense. You can't say, I got a dream. Pagal, soja jaake. Sapna aaya main roja. You can't say, I will succeed because that particular Sadhu Maharaj or that particular astrologer told me, you do this business. But these are all nonsensical things. When you're starting a business, do a proper analysis. Don't start a business on the basis of a gut feeling. You say, who was that person? Asaram Bapu told me you will succeed. Where is Asaram Bapu? He's in the jail. In your Bangalore, there may be a particular person. Nowadays, this has become a good business now, to become a religious preacher. ये साले खुद कुछ करते नहीं है. I'm sorry to say like that, but why I'm sorry, I'm fine with the students. These people who preach big things, they themselves don't practice. I know one particular person, I don't know from Karnataka or Kerala, where this place. He says, I talk to God. Pagal, मारेगा कान के नीचे. क्या talk to God? It's pagal बना ना. They fool us here, and we get fooled by them. So don't tell me I'll start business because of a gut feeling, dream. Chopre. Danda chalu karna hai, business chalu karna hai, first do an analysis. What analysis? Analysis of internal factors, external factors. Internal strength and weaknesses, external opportunities and threats. If you have strength good enough to grab the opportunity, then it makes sense. If you have weakness, tomorrow it will become threat for you. Don't. Otherwise, one day you'll have to run away from the country. How that Modi ran away. Nirav Modi. How that other Modi ran away. Lalit Modi. Sala Modi to bhag gaye idhar apne country se. How that Mehul Choksi ran away. Mehul Choksi, you know, na? Gitanjali Jewelers. How that king of good times, Vijay Mallya, ran away. I remember in London when we had gone to see a cricket match as such, the moment people would spot him, they used to abuse him as if Vijay Mallya has taken their money. Lost all his respect. Na? Why? Because before starting the business, he did not do proper, come on, tell me, strategic analysis. Another example that comes to my mind, students, this company is there now, Videocon. Videocon, you heard the name? Videocon company students used to manufacture electronic equipment, television, fridge, washing machine. Today, this is a loss-making company. Loan that the bank has given to Videocon is considering as a non-performing asset. Meaning what? They are not in a position to repay the money. Because of Videocon student, one person by the name Deepak Kochar is behind the bars. And Deepak Kochar is the husband of Chanda Kochar. Chanda Kochar, if you know, she was the chairperson of ICICI Bank. Imagine. First girl from a country to have cleared her actuarial papers, very intelligent. And she had to pay the price. Videocon, what they did? They started a business in Brazil of generating and transmitting electricity. Pagal, TV bana, fridge bana. Sala jo aata nahi hai, usme kyun jata hai? I'm sorry, beta, but you understand my point, na? I don't know of a particular business. Why the hell? Vijay Mallya was making alcohol, beer. Kitna bikta tha Kingfisher beer. Daru banana. McDowell whiskey, you make that. Why the hell Kingfisher airline boss? Air India imagine Air India was in the business suffering loss. Indian Airline was in the business suffering loss. Deccan Airways was there in the business suffering loss. Then what you will do separately? You make calendars. Okay? He would spend crores of rupees in making calendar. Enjoy. You have those parties. तुम्हारा कौन सा बैंगलोर का टीम लेके बैठा था साला एक बार भी आईपीएल जीता नहीं. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. They have to play properly now. Imagine, Surit, that is his business. Yeah, you do that. Why you are in this airline business? You know why? To show off. And who does that? Who actually is hollow inside? You know, they say an empty vessel makes more noise. Precisely that was the case. So gut feeling, guts for yourself. If you have made an analysis of everything besides you, and you Audible, I'm audible. Now listen. So what was strategic analysis? I said, beta, first thing I said, you're not supposed to start any business and make financial commitments on the basis of some gut feeling. So see, I said, you have to understand the environment. Strength, weakness, opportunities, threats, I said, beta, see, understanding the business environment before starting the business is known as strategic analysis. So it's a conscious effort made by the business managers understanding the internal strength and weaknesses, right? And opportunities and threats. All business managers should perform. Okay. All business managers should perform situational analysis before they start planning for the. What is situational analysis? It says, students, see, situational analysis is what understanding of the organization's current position in the market, where the organization stands to in terms of its strengths and weaknesses. First and foremost step to start any further long-term planning. The two most situational considerations are industry and competitive conditions. इसका मतलब क्या? What it means, I'll share with you. See, beta, whenever you are entering in a business, sorry, yeah, I said whenever you're entering in a business, you are supposed to be very clear what is your position. You are a challenger, you are a leader, or a follower. Then two things it says is industry and competitive conditions, and second thing it says is, see this, organization's own competitive. Meaning what, beta? Suppose I'm trying to enter into a automobile business. So I am a firm which is entering in the business. So first I should have an idea about the automobile industry. How many companies, how many players, what are the products? So industry and what kind of competition is there. That is industry and competitive condition. And second is, I need to know about my own strength and weaknesses. So organization's own competitive capability, resources, internal strength and weakness, and market position. See the most important sentence. Strategy formulation is what they say. Strategy formulation is not a task in which managers can get by with intuition, opinion, instincts, and creative thinking. No, thinking is a long-term visualization of the results of the actual result. It's a very interesting sentence, students. See what it says is a long-term visualization of the actual results virtually, or virtual attainment of the actual goals. Virtual attainment of the actual goals before the organization achieves goals actually. You know, I used to say in my class like this, if I'm entering into a war, I should first win the war in my mind. If I'm entering into a battle, I should win the battle in my mind. Then it becomes easy to win it on the ground. So analysis has to be done. How I'll be managing myself and my resources to achieve the objectives as such. See, managers' experience definitely will be taken into consideration while framing strategies. Judgment about strength, all this as such. Same thing what I explained. Efforts in formulation of strategies without perceptive analysis of business factors and forces will increase the chance of developing faulty strategy. See, this is important bit. Kingfisher Airlines. You start the business without making strategy, you are starting to exit only. You are entering to exit. Kingfisher Airline, best example. Another best example, student, Videocon starting that electrical business over there. Reliance में Anil Entering in some business, students imagine telecommunication business, Reliance Communication. Why? If you don't know the tricks of the trade, then why the hell do you enter in that particular business? So, efforts made in formulation of strategy without perceptive analysis of business factors and forces will increase the chance of developing faulty strategy, which will decrease the chance of improving the performance of the organization, will lead to little prospects of developing competitive advantage, unachieved vision, mission, objectives, and goals. So one day you'll have to run away from the country and become an absconder. And then people talk so many nonsensical things about you. These are the same people who used to once dance for you. Now student Vijay Malia has become what? A punching bag na, for most of the people. Why? One wrong decision. So it should not be taken. Now, what are the issues to be considered for strategic analysis? These all points are there, but it will take much time, students, because this matrix is difficult. So I'll give you 5 minutes break. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask me after that, students. Right? 5 minutes break. ए बेटा सुन रहा है समझ में आ रहा है ना 5 minutes break I'll give to you. Yes. Any doubts? Come on. If anyone is having any doubts, please tell me. नियति चैती क्या है किधर है सब या नियति any doubt बेटा बच्चा you have any doubts tell me unmute yourself please
Good evening, sir.
good evening बेटा tell me
So basically, you said an example of Tata Sons, right? So Tata Sons comprises of various like division, like TCS, Tata Motors, and all. Those division itself are called SBU, right? Strategic Business Unit.
those are okay they are SBUs only but they are in the form of companies na
Huh.
they are in the form of companies what happens to Eicher Motor truck division motorcycle division all comes under what Eicher only
Huh. Correct.
in Tata's mein TCS is one company
Oh.
Tata Motor is another company
Huh.
abhi, see in this business beta imagine there is one Tata Tea
Hmm.
Tata Tetley Tata Coffee Tata Global Beverages. So basically, these four companies are in what business? Tea and coffee.
Yes. Correct.
Tata Consultancy Services, Tata LXI. Software.
Hmm.
Tata, uh, what is that company? Tata Steel, Tata Sponge, Steel. So business is same, but they are from different companies. So beta, you have a number of people working in the companies. The labor cost increases. So some particular companies, instead of having many companies, they have SBUs, strategic business units. One idea is what with that the cost can become a bit less. And companies perform very well. I give you an example, beta. What example I give you now? Aisha Motors share
Eicher.
prices was 36,000 rupees.
Huh.
Excellent. Huh?
Yes. Correct.
Tata Motors bacha share price is 300 rupees, face value is 10 rupees. And take other case ITC, 2 rupees share is what 200 rupees. See this. So SBU for some kind of business they are better. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Or good. Anything else?
No, so basically, since these divisions of Tata itself are huge in size, so they cannot be classified as SBU.
So they have made it as companies.
Okay. And these Eicher Motors, you have given the example, they are smaller in size as comparatively. They can't be said as particular division. So they are like SBUs.
So they could be said as separate companies also.
Okay.
They could be said like that as separate companies also. You can have a centralized legal department to manage everything as such. Imagine Tata's, if one day you become the chairman of Tata, you can say, now these four companies, I'll make it one Tata Tea and Coffee.
Hmm.
These two companies, I'll make it as what Tata Consultancy. I'll make the Tata Steel and Sponge. So you make one person in charge of four different divisions. So instead of having a board of director in all these cases, rather you be satisfied with one set of board of directors.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
You understanding everything now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Anyone else with any doubts, please ask me. Niyati, Sukumar, Morning batch is at par. Morning batch not at par. They are a bit behind. Yeah, please, Pooja, unmute yourself, beta. On your video. Pooja, put on the video. I can't see you, Pooja. Kavyas, please put your video on. Unmute yourself.
Sir, like my doubt is, I have no doubt in concepts. Kavya.
Kavya,
Yes, sir. So I have no doubt in concepts. So
put your
if,
video on. Put your video on.
yeah, okay. Okay, sir.
Beta, please tell.
So I have no doubt in concepts. So I'm just asking if we study JK Shah material for this subject, is that enough?
More than enough.
Sir, and the thing is, for this case study based questions, there are no answers. So will you discuss that in class? Because we don't know which answer for that to write.
So beta, first let 1, 2, 3 topics get over.
Okay.
Then some particular questions we can discuss. Because if I start discussing that, I will not have sufficient time to finish the portion.
Okay.
So if you attend lectures properly, most of the time you'll be comfortable. And don't worry about that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All the examples that I've said, you please note down all those things.
Okay.
It should be sufficient. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else? Shall I attend morning batch? It's up to you, but a morning batch, there are many students. So if you want, evening batch is better. Only 85, 90 students. Morning batch, there are more than 250 students. That's it. Sanjay, Vasudha, Dikshit, Niyati. Achha, someone asked a question, so can you explain direct indirect competition? I told you, beta, you have 1 lakh rupees with you. You want to buy a particular Daikin air conditioner. Daikin air conditioner is one you want to buy. Then when you go to the market, you find that there is, what is that company? Blue Star air conditioner. One would say there is, come on, Samsung. One would say there is LG. What is this all supposed to be? Direct competition. Indirect would mean what? Your dad would say, our AC which is there at home is proper. Let us have a big refrigerator. A bigger refrigerator. So your 1 lakh rupees can go for buying an air conditioner. It can go for buying, come on, a refrigerator. That refrigerator becomes a case of what? Indirect competition. It's like that. That's it. Any doubts? Welcome, beta, welcome. Chalo, we'll meet tomorrow. Is it okay? God bless you, everyone. Thank you very much. Good night.